Hey everybody, happy Saturday. Thanks for joining me in the card closet for another episode. Once again, let's start off with our trivia. This is episode 481. So I'm going to give you some clues about a man who had 481 games started as a pitcher. And let's see if you can figure out who he is. 65th all time with those 481 games started. So let's start with his rookie cards. His rookie cards were in 1989, even though he technically had a XRC in 1988 Fleer update, but his rookie cards are considered 1989. All the brands, all the companies making cards that year got in on his rookie. Bowman, Donruss, Fleer, Score, Topps, Upper Deck. His Topps run ran from 1989 to 2011. Ironically, the 2011 card is an image variation only, not in the regular run of the set. In Topps 2008 set, he is on the National League Strikeout Leaders card. Otherwise, he's just got a lot of base cards. He was drafted by the Detroit Tigers in 1985. And in 1987, he was still a minor leaguer. And he was traded to the Braves for Doyle Alexander. And through his long 20-some career season, he was never traded again, never traded as a major leaguer. Whenever he switched teams, it was always because he was a free agent. So here's the big clue. He was one of Atlanta Braves' big three pitchers in the 90s going into the 2000s. He stayed with the Braves the longest, 6 years longer than Tom Glavine and 5 years longer than Greg Maddux. He is a Hall of Famer, but he is the only one of those big three not to get 300 wins. In fact, he didn't even come close. He only had 213. But he did have 300 strikeouts, which was 3,000 strikeouts for his career, which is impressive. He won the Cy Young Award in 1996. He led the league in the National League in wins twice, strikeouts twice, games started 3 times, inning pitched twice, 8-time All-Star. He won a Silver Slugger as a pitcher. I thought that was interesting. And he won the prestigious Roberto Clemente Award for his off-field contributions to society. Played with the Braves from 1988 to 2008. And in 2009, he split the season between the Boston Red Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals. Then he called it quits. He appeared in every postseason that was held in the 1990s. Took 2000 off from the postseason, and then 2001 through 2005, he was in every postseason again. In those postseasons, he sported a 15-4 record, very good postseason pitcher with a 2.67 ERA and 199 strikeouts in 209 innings. All those postseasons, though, only resulted in one World Series, and that was kind of the story of the Braves of that era, winning it in 1995. He did take one little diversion, 4-year diversion, about 2/3 of the way through his career. He switched over to a reliever for the Braves. Led the league in saves 1 year, but posted 55, 45, and 44 save seasons. Pretty incredible. And then he went back to being a starter again. Nowadays, you can see him calling baseball games. He's called games on TNT, Major League Baseball Network, and Fox Sports. I hope you got him. Let me know if you did. Of course, we're talking about Mr. John Smoltz. And this is his 1997 Topps card. I picked this card because it's got his Cy Young Award season on the back of it there. League leaders are in red, so he led the league in innings that year. Wins, strikeouts. Nice ERA of 2.94, but that was actually 4th in the league. Jake Peavy was ahead of him, as was his teammate Greg Maddux and Al Leiter. So Greg Maddux, great pitcher, great human being. He will sit in on this episode. So today's episode, I want to give honor to a new friend of mine in the sports card YouTube channel world, Vintage Dave T. So, like I said, he's a new friend. We just met each other probably in the last year, maybe even 6 months. And he is having a contest for his 100 subscriber milestone that he reached. Congratulations on that, Dave. I would recommend, if you have not checked out Vintage Dave T, to go check him out. I'll put his link in the description of this video. He's a set guy. He likes to build old sets from his childhood. Not saying you're old, Dave, but for example, he recently just completed the 1962 set, one that he said he owned in his childhood and was putting together now, again, out of nostalgia for it. So if you like old Topps cards and you like seeing all the players rather than just the Hall of Famers in a PSA slab, he is going to be a channel you like. All right, so he's asking us for his contest to tell about a big trade that our favorite team had with his favorite team, the Seattle Mariners. And of course, I'm a Red Sox fan, and there's the big obvious one, which I will mention, but Dave, you used that one as your example when you were setting this contest up. So I'm going to have to, since you kind of took it already, I'm going to go back and mention other trades between these two teams. Nothing near as big. In fact, Baseball Reference has a nice feature where you can enter in any two major league teams and it'll show you all the trades that those two teams have had. And I scrolled down through the list. You know, thankfully the Mariners have only been around since the late 70s. Didn't have to go back too far, but there have been a couple handfuls of deals between the Braves and the Red Sox, and most of them involve players I've never heard of. And some of the players I heard of only because I collect baseball cards. So I'm going to walk through these trades that have players that appeared on Major League Baseball cards. And we're going to go all the way back to 1981, when the Boston Red Sox sent reliever Dick Drago to the Mariners for somebody that I think of more as being on the Reds, but reliever Manny Sarmiento. Hard to say who got the best deal in that trade. Neither did a whole lot. Neither of them were stars. In fact, Manny, I guess you have to give this trade to the Mariners because Manny Sarmiento never actually pitched a game for the Red Sox. He was injured the year of the trade, and by the next year, they had traded him off again. Let's fast forward to 1986. And the Red Sox and the Mariners did a big trade. Biggest when you talk about the number of players involved. It was a five-player trade. And the Red Sox received Spike Owen and Dave Henderson. And if you're a Red Sox fan, you know Dave Henderson is kind of well known in there. And he and Spike both did a pretty good job. Henderson, of course, would go on to play for the Oakland A's after a couple years with the Red Sox. And the players that the Red Sox had to give up were Mike Brown. Trying to make room for everybody here. Mike Trujillo. And John Christensen. So that was the trade. I'm going to say the Red Sox got the better of that because Spike Owens had a few solid seasons, as did Dave Henderson. And the other guys I don't think we ever really heard of. So now from 86, we're going to fast forward to 1996. And the Red Sox did a trade. This one, definitely, the Mariners got the better of them. So the Red Sox traded pitcher Jamie Moyer to the Mariners and got in return Darren Bragg. Darren Bragg had a couple solid seasons with the Red Sox, but as you know, Jamie Moyer had some really good seasons with the Mariners. Pitched right with them up through that 2000-2001 stretch where they were one of the best teams in baseball. So that one we're giving to the Mariners. Let's go ahead one more year. We just got to mention this one at least. This is the most famous one. Red Sox really got a steal here. They gave Heathcliff Slocum to the Mariners. This one doesn't sit well with you, Dave, I know, but it sits very well with me. And the Red Sox in return got Derek Lowe and Jason Varitek. That one is listed as the best Red Sox trade of all time as far as how they did. That and the Pedro Martinez one where they got Pedro for a bunch of prospects, none of whom really turned out. But yeah, Derek Lowe ended up being a great reliever, a 40 save a game, 40 save a season reliever, and also an amazing starting pitcher. He got the win in the ALDS, ALCS, and World Series in 2004 postseason. And Jason Varitek became team captain. Solid run as catcher with the Red Sox. Gave a half glove punch to Alex Rodriguez. That didn't hurt either. And Heathcliff Slocum just did not pan out. Then there's a long stretch of no trades between major leaguers between these two teams. And we have to now jump all the way up to last year, 2023, to find the next deal. And ironically, both these guys are on Mariners cards, even though they were traded for each other. Luis Urias to the Mariners, and the Red Sox got back Isaiah Campbell. And this happened last year in November, so just over 12 months ago. And that's it. Now, the Red Sox are going after some young, up-and-coming pitcher that the Mariners currently have on their staff. Time will tell if they can get that deal done. I'm not sure what they'd have to give up for it. But anyway, Dave, congratulations again on getting those 100 subscribers. The first 100 are the hardest 100. And hopefully me and others can get some more visibility to your channel and you can continue to grow. Great channel. All right. And just one final note. Juju Lewis, his high school team last night, Carrollton High School, defeated Buford High School 30-17. So Juju's team is once again in the state championship game next weekend for the state of Georgia. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a good Sunday tomorrow. Bye.